Hi, I'm Kate Stillman with YogaHealer.com, and many of you I already know because you've already spent time on my site or in my courses, and by the time you get to the Yoga Healer business course, you're really waking up to the idea that you too could make a bigger splash in the world, that you could make a bigger income, and that you could have a bigger impact. And that's really what this is all about here, the Yoga Healer business course. That's what we do. And there's so much that we don't know as yoga teachers and healers. In fact, when I look back to where I was 10 years ago, so I had already been practicing for a few years as a yoga teacher, teaching as a certified yoga teacher, practicing as an Ayurvedic specialist practitioner. And I had a decent practice, but I was running around, I was working a ton. I didn't know how to leverage my time. I didn't have a strategy. It's kind of funny to look back and be like, wow, I hadn't taken any kind of business training. None. Zip. Zilch. And so I had no idea the whole new economy, the connection economy, this whole sense of how I could create really great products, programs, and services for the people who would really just a perfect fit for my business. And I didn't really know how to listen to a community. There's so much I just didn't know about how to build a community around my business and how to create great products and programs and services for the people in my community and the whole thing, so that it could grow and so that I could leverage my time, so that I could leverage my income to like do greater good in the world. So fast forward 10 years, and I've got that. I've spent a lot of time myself working to grow Yoga Healer into a really successful brand. I have a pretty clear schedule. People are always surprised when they look at my calendar. They're like, Kate, you're doing so much, but you have so much time. How does that work? And it's because that's what I wanted to create in my own life, because I have a 5-year-old child, and I have a freedom-based lifestyle. So I live part-time in Mexico, where I am now. We live here as much as we want, which will probably be about half the year next year, and the rest of the time we spend near Jackson Hole, Wyoming, on the Idaho side, where we just have a really beautiful place and a beautiful life. And that's what I want for you too, to have not my life, but your life, a life that is in alignment with your dreams and in tune with your ambition and the kind of impact that you want to make, which will look really different than my business. So that's what we do around the Yoga Healer business course. And the nice thing about it is I get to know throughout the course, because we have tons of office hour calls and we have a great online forums, I get to know you, your ambitions, what you want to do with what you've got. So taking the training that you have so far, and how can we leverage that? How can we start to build a community around your business? How can we start to enable you to leverage your time so that you have more time to do whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's time with your family or time doing other things than working on your business and working for the people in your business. So we want to take all that into account. And in this course, it's really how we look at it. So it's much about figuring out your own lifestyle that you want to create and building a business that fits into your lifestyle. And then really looking at how do you create better products, programs, and services for the people that really could use them most, that you really most want to work with, and how to start to bridge the gap between you and them so that you two get much greater connection and in harmony. So I can't say that your income will, grow by $50,000, but it would also be unfair to say that hasn't happened. Okay, so there's a lot that can happen when you take the Yoga Healer business course. I mean, when I look back to the time before I was making $100,000 as a yoga teacher and healer to the time that I was making well over that, and when I just see the difference, a lot of the difference, even the time going from $50,000 to $100,000, those kind of jumps in income. One thing that I've noticed in all these jumps in income is that yoga teachers and healers don't talk about it. It's like totally taboo. We can't talk about wanting to make a bigger income. And we often don't even talk about wanting to have a bigger impact. But that's what we do talk about in the Yoga Healer business course, is how to get really upfront with how much money you want to make and how you're going to make it. And that's what we work on together, is to figure out how you are going to meet the income goals that you have, and feeling into really the larger mission of how that affects a greater number of people when you start to meet those goals. How you'll have to grow up and change in ways that maybe you haven't looked at before. So it's a very much personal growth oriented approach to something that's as sticky as wanting to make a better income for you and your family and for your deeper desires. So I hope you sign up and join me and join the other members that are actually working on this stuff in themselves and experiencing the fruits of their work. And that's really what it's all about around here. We get things done. It's not an easy course. It's a course that you're going to have to engage in. I recommend you have at least a couple hours a week. I would say 3 to 5 hours a week to be able to engage in the course and to be able to make the most of your investment. And this investment, if you invest yourself in the course, the investment will pay off, and you'll never look at your business the same way again. And you'll start to see in the whole sea of yoga teachers and healers all of the things that people aren't doing that gives you an edge so that you can start to basically be seen amongst the crowd. Okay, I look forward to meeting you on the inside.